Ladies and gents, welcome to another YouTube video. So, we are now 2 days out, 3 days out from my competition, which is crazy how fast it's gone. Lots of changes in the room today, so I've got loads to show you. I've been on a bit of a prep buying spree, so there's so many more technical items to show you, which I'm excited for. But this video is pretty much a Q&A. I am resting today. I'll be training up tomorrow, which I won't be posting because, again, very boring sessions, very underwhelming. I hate peak week, to be honest with you. It's absolute shit. So, let's get on with the video. It is a Q&A. I'm going to have the questions up here. The questions will maybe be on the screen as well. And it is literally just quick fire answers. Well, I say quick fire answers. Some of these are probably long-winded. But just because I much prefer listening and watching people talk and explain. Now, I got the idea off Mikey Jamros, so shout out to bro. Fucking absolute inspiration of mine as of recent. This prep has really taught me a lot, and him specifically, watching him, how he conducts himself as a bodybuilder, as a businessman, as a coach. Shout out to him because he is my number one right now inspiration in terms of what I want to do, how he lives, the lifestyle he has. Yeah, shout out to bro in case he's watching this, because he did comment on my questionnaire, which is absolutely hilarious because I couldn't believe it. Again, look up to him massively. So let me get the questionnaires up and we'll start answering these questions off. So I'm not gonna put all the questions up because there was quite a few, some of them very similar to each other. But from what I have got here, let us begin. I actually need to find it first, so give me 1 microsecond. Apologies for the delay. So, starting from the start. Oral assistance in a prep, my take. Now, I think realistically speaking, again, for assisted athletes, absolutely. I think it makes a huge contribution to the look. So my 2024 season, I ran Anavar I think I ran it at 50 milligrams from 6 weeks out. No, from 4 weeks out till show day. And again, massive increase in the look I felt. I thought it really did shine, and it also helped my training, strength. So yeah, I would say from my personal point of view, bear in mind, that's the only oral I've ever ran, not including clenbuterol and stuff like that, obviously. I thought it was a fantastic oral. Not running it this time round. This time round, I'm running Winstrol. And funnily enough, I haven't even touched Winstrol yet. I'm 3 days out. Still haven't touched it. There's no need for it. We will see what the crack is tomorrow and what Tom says, but it looks like we're going to use it for as little as possible. That is what I should elaborate on. A lot of coaches have been saying this online as well, which I specifically agree with. If you are to put an oral in, especially like a strong oral or an oral that will affect joints, apparently Winstrol does do that, and it can make your joints very, very achy. You want it in for the shortest amount of time possible, or especially psychological ones, like what was it called? Halo, like Halo testing. You'd want that in for the minimal amount of time from what I've seen. But again, that's only down to my understanding of it, rather than, is this the only way? Absolutely not. You can completely do a prep without an oral, but a lot of people tend to put them in, as I'm doing. Next up, Mikey Jamros. Any crutches keeping you sane this prep? And how you doing, bro? First of all, your YouTube videos and your Pump Report podcast, bro, is keeping me through this prep massively. All in all, not particularly. I think the only thing that's kept me through this prep is obviously Maddie. But obviously, if we're talking extra additionals or things like that, like sauces, it would be bars, cream soda. The sugar-free cream sodas have been a pretty nice staple, and Hydronate by Alpha Neon, but I've had to limit that intake just down to the sodium that I've been consuming with that, because I haven't been having just one portion. I've been having lots of them because it's that good. So Hydronate, Alpha Neon, code Josh15, of course. But yeah, that is the only things that really kept me crushing this prep, or crutches that have kept me staying this prep. And buying stuff, just going on like exotic spending sprees. Next up, what video games do I play if I play? Now, I already did this Q&A, by the way, but I didn't like it, so I deleted it because I was very slurred in my talking. So I'm trying to clear things up. And funny enough, since this question, I think I said my top 3 personal games. I'm just going to go through that straight away. I haven't really played games this prep until 2 days ago. Halo Master Chief Collection. Just started playing it. Just finished the Halo Reach campaign for the first time. Insane. So I'm moving on, just going through each one now, each Halo, and enjoying it. Red Dead Redemption 2. My favourite game of all time, story-wise. Absolute masterpiece, like tearjerker worthy. Love it. Incredible. And the third game I would say in my top 3 would be, I would say Minecraft, just because it's a staple. You know, we will get the 2-week Minecraft phase. I've already had mine this year. But Minecraft's typically a game that I'll always come back to. So yeah, 100% that. Next up, what's one supplement product you think is underrated and one that's overrated for bodybuilding? Now, in a product, I'm not going to give... Okay, this is going to sound really silly of me saying this because it's product, but it's not particularly like a single ingredient, if that makes sense. So, for example, people would say creatine, for example. But in my opinion, it would be a digestive aid in the morning. Absolutely. Like, so underrated. I would say that is the most underrated supplement because, again, people think their digestion is good. And there's a common theme that people are, my digestion's fine. But then when you ask them questions, and you, especially with clients, I find their digestion is absolutely terrible. Like, they are terrible digestion, and they don't tell you until afterwards. And you hear a lot about it on not only podcasts, but on videos explaining, oh, I haven't had a shit in like 3 days, 4 days. What? What do you mean you haven't? Like, this is not good digestion, by the way. Like, that is god-awful digestion. So I'd say digestive aid, Alpha Neon specifically, of course. We're going to say Rise and Shine, underrated supplement. And it could be not just from Alpha Neon, but any digestive aid for Train by JP, Strom, anywhere. But digestive aids play a huge role. And I think they're very underrated because people just don't think or see the fact that they have terrible digestion. Now, an overrated supplement. Now, this is a tough one because a lot of it for me draws to like peptide use. Like, I would say L-carnitine is heavily overrated, but is it classed as a supplement? Because I don't know. I would say like shitty ass peptides like L-carnitine. I've used it personally, used it for months, and just did not see a massive benefit to that. And I think it's very overhyped. Again, it's not to say there's no benefits. It's just from a personal point of view, I think it's definitely an overrated supplement. And it's pushed. I think it's because the narrative of it is pushed quite heavily. And a lot of natural lifters who are natty think L-carnitine is this be-all and end-all, but it's actually pretty shit in my opinion. But again, in my opinion, there's going to be lots of opinions out there. Some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely agree with me. Next up on the questionnaire, I've actually just gone off it again like an absolute tool. So time to refine the questionnaire before I lose it again. Here we are. Next question on the list is going to be, best food you like to eat, salty or sweet? Easy one. Alpha Neon, cream of rice, caramel biscuit flavour, if that's correct, caramel biscuit. Yeah, that's one. Salty, savoury one would be, oof. We have a place in Narberth called Hub, and it's got something called birria fries, and it's basically just birria meat on fries, loaded. It's basically loaded fries with cheese all over it. Thinking of that right now is my top 3 for sure. And the third one would 100% be, we'll get a mix of this. We'll have like a drink or so. It would be like a pumpkin spice latte. Sounds super basic, right? But you guys need to know when it hits in this autumn, it hits. So frozen pumpkin spice latte. It's proper white girl of me, but look at the hair and stuff. I'm literally matching the criteria, 100%. Any advice you wish you knew when you started bodybuilding? Now, I'm going to say 2 parts to this question. No, because I wouldn't be where I am today without, if that makes sense. I made lots of mistakes prior, but them mistakes made me, right? And that's the best thing I can say in terms of the answer. However, form overview and training accuracy. Again, it is the #1 contributor to making progress. You can throw all the heavy weight around if you want, but if you're not engaging and you're not getting a good connection or you're not growing, why is that? Chances are if your nutrition's dialed, which again is not particularly hard to dial nutrition, if that makes sense, it's quite simplistic. But training is not. Training is simple when you look at it from a brief point of view, but when you're looking at like packing size on and accuracy within training, accuracy within training for me is #1. And I didn't do that. I neglected that. And the muscles that I didn't have good accuracy with, always being pull movements for this reference, I have the weakest back. I stepped on stage in 2024 with one of the worst backs on stage. It was humiliating. Why? Because I didn't care for accuracy within training. I lifted heavy because I thought that was the go-to. You know, Ronnie Coleman did it. It doesn't work for everyone. It's what people have to realise. lifting heavy and just lifting like shit, hoping you're hitting a muscle, is not accurately training. I learned this more with Tom Taylor than anyone else. He has instilled this in my head. Training accuracy is everything. I've done that this prep. I have grown this prep. I feel very, very good. Bear in mind, when this off-season comes, I am intending to fully commit and put a ridiculous amount of muscle on me. And it all comes from training accuracy. As long as I'm following meal plan, training accuracy is the one thing I would change, and that advice that I would have that would follow me through, because I'd make a lot more progress with that being said. Next one. What is your day job? Biggest obstacle in bodybuilding you've overcome? Okay, day job, first of all, is, well, online coaching, really. I don't have a job at all, by the way. Let's just get that out of the way. I have no job, so every prep is the least stressful because I don't have to work 40 hours, unlike a lot of these hardworking fellas who compete and work full time. So I'm very, very lucky to say the least. I'm in a very nice position. I'm in a very beautiful house. But again, full-time job, I do not have one, apart from coaching, which again is not for me full-time as of yet. It is literally on the cusp of full-time, and I'm trying my best to get there. So if you are interested in coaching, link in the description. I have a WhatsApp link, I have a coaching inquiry form. However, I've got a video explaining the coaching in the whole overview of coaching, all in the link in bio. So if you are interested, feel free. But biggest obstacle in bodybuilding I've overcome, this prep has taught me a lot. Like, getting really deep has taught me a lot, and it's taught me a lot about love and honouring family and the people around you. So the obstacle I had is I was willing to do everything for bodybuilding. You know, it was my first on my list, and it's actually realising it's not. And it sounds bad because it's the opposite of an obstacle. Bodybuilding was the obstacle. But the true value of family, blood, relationships, I'm maturing on this prep massively. So 2 preps, well, in 2024 on prep, I was very, not nasty, but a miserable and selfish human. Very miserable and very selfish. Anyone who knew me on that prep, it wasn't acceptable how I acted. I wasn't a cunt. Like, I wasn't going out my way and being nasty or purposely being rude to people, but I didn't consider people, and that was my issue. I didn't speak to Maddie at times, just ignored her, was rude for no reason, and it was frankly disgusting behaviour. And I'll always look back in regret and like self-hatred. You know, you think you've done something embarrassing that you'll never forget. That was a massive thing for me. So this prep, I went into it with a clear head, thinking, okay, this is my prep, but this is everyone else's life that I'm affecting. So this prep, my mood has been massive, and I found a huge shift emotionally and where I find my values. Now, I don't want to waffle because, again, this goes into some waffling bullshit, but putting other people first before me and realising that is a much happier and nicer way of life. And I feel this prep I've learnt more. I've never been so full of love towards people that I do love and care. And that's my biggest obstacle which I've faced, which I've thoroughly enjoyed having that obstacle because I've learnt so much. And I have a completely different outlook on life now, just from a prep, bear in mind, which I think is crazy. So I hope that's a decent answer for that. What is my bodybuilding why? Why did I start, and why do I keep going? So my biggest bodybuilding why, or how I got into starting, was a long one actually. It's 40 minutes long. Okay, let's see how quickly I can get this done. So I started for rugby for college. Again, super skinny kid. I was on the wing, so I played winger for rugby, or fullback, like the quick, very, very fast but very skinny kid position. And I just wanted to get bigger because these guys were big. I was only 60 kilogram, you know, the typical average weight for a teenager. And these boys at college, obviously the year above me and stuff, were like 80 kg, 70 kg, 90 kg, you know, and I was just fearful of them. So I got into the gym just to get a bit stronger for contact rugby. However, I started the gym in September 2020. Therefore, COVID was a massive issue. No contact sports were allowed, so they banned contact. So we was just playing tag rugby, and I was like, oh, well, this is shit. I'll keep going to gym anyway because I was enjoying it. And I saw progress very quickly, like very quickly. Within 20 days, I was seeing massive changes to my physique. And I think that's down to just my very good genetics. Without trying to sound like a big-headed prick, my genetics are very good, and I could see that. And other people saw that and were coming up to me. And this was in like 2 months of training. And I was also mentally in a very, very bad position. Like, I wasn't suicidal, but I was doing very silly things around mental health and kind of playing with fire a little bit. So with that, the only outlook I had was, or not outlook, the only way out of that I saw was gym, and like that was my de-stressor for the day. That was my feel good. And I remember I was very lonely at the time. I was in a relationship, but just down to the circumstances, like it wasn't to do with anything else or what was going on. I was just very lonely, so I had no friends. I had one person to depend on, that was my partner at the time. Again, nothing bad to say about him, but it was more of a fact of I was very lonely and very isolated, and my mental health was in an all-time low. And one of the boys at the gym actually said to me, he was like, "Oh, you're looking good, man." And I didn't speak to this guy often, and I remember like crying, like it's even now, like I remember how I felt, and yeah, it was bad. Literally had to cut that because I could feel my getting emotional. But yeah, I was just really in a bad position, and it was really painful to think about myself then. And because of that one compliment he gave me, and this is why it means so much to me, that one compliment, shit, I had to cut that because I could feel myself getting emotional. This is like the back end of prep, so this is why I feel like this. That one compliment that boy gave me, who I didn't speak to very often, I cried for like half an hour in the changing rooms. Like that's how bad my mental health was. It was very bad. Like you can hear me now, my voice. It was a bad time. It was very, very tough to talk about even now. Like opening up and talking about it is really difficult for me because I don't think people understand how bad it was. It was so bad. And I cried for absolute ages of that compliment he gave me because I've never felt so appreciated and so like taken in by someone before. And it was just a fucking compliment. It was like, "Oh, you're looking big, bro." He probably didn't even mean it, which is the funniest thing. He just said it to be nice. But that was my biggest why. I'm like, wow, okay, this is the one thing that I've felt at home at, I feel happy with, and it means a lot to me. So I'm going to keep going. And I kept going. And then compliments picked up. Like, I had people saying, "Damn, like, you're looking massive, bro." And I wasn't doing it for compliments, but that compliment and that sign of friendship and that acceptance into a group, into like the gym, which is the group, was something I've never experienced before because I was a bit of a fucking arsehole at school. And if anyone who went to my school would know, I was a bit of a twat and a bit of a loser. And because of that, I had no friends. And that obviously what caused this whole downward spiral. So it was like me at the bottom, rock bottom. And somehow getting up to this point where someone gave me a compliment was insane to me. So I kept going. And then people started talking about bodybuilding to me and said, "Oh, you compete and stuff." Like, I didn't look good. Like, I didn't look like I should compete. I just put on mass fast at the time. But obviously I got into my head a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, bodybuilding and shit." Like, I knew Seaburn was, like, who didn't? He just won he came off the back of, I think it's second Olympia in 2020, he won his second Olympia, if I'm correct. But it was like 2021 at this point. So I knew who he was, but I didn't care for bodybuilding. I didn't know the classes. I thought I did, but I didn't. And it was the only thing I was good at. I wasn't good at school. I wasn't very intellectual. I didn't have any friends. So the only thing I could do, and the only thing my outlet was
bodybuilding.
and again, I recently was broken up with at the time. So all I had was bodybuilding. I had nothing else in my life going on for me. So it was that or like death. At that point, that's how it looked to me. So of course I kept going. And I kept going, and I just got good at it. And obviously I met with Sam Lancaster a year later after that. So obviously it's a big, big jump in time. And then it was just, let's go, let's fucking bodybuild. I've had lots of inspirations and lots of people over the years who have given me their time, who probably shouldn't have given me their time, but because of the people they are, they did. So Yemi, IFBB Pro, went to Olympia. You know, he saw me at a much younger age at 19, and he was very kind to me. And it was inspirational having someone like him almost speak to me like a human being. And I think that's the biggest thing for me as a human, which I struggle with, and it's the art of making friends and seeking connection with people, because I don't have connections with people very often. So when I do, it is very meaningful for me. So I'd say people like that, shout out to Yemi. I know he doesn't watch my shit, but like, big shout out to Yemi. And people just give me their time and messaging me. Joe Richardson, another one who's recently just retired from bodybuilding. I thought I was going to be against him this year, so it was super scary. But him giving me his time in 2023 when I was a loser, when I was a nobody. I was into bodybuilding at that point, like completely, but people giving me their time, it just felt welcoming, and that obviously encourages you to do more. Now, obviously, I do it for myself. I do it because I enjoy it. It's something I thoroughly love. But I think the biggest reason for the why I got into it was very deep rooted in feeling accepted in a group that I've never had that feeling before. Not to get deep or anything, but that was one fuck of a question, mate. Like, holy shit. You got me having to cut the video because I was like, couldn't breathe. I lost it again, so I might actually keep that in just because it's real talk and it shows you actually how much bodybuilding does mean to me, because it is hard to talk about. Next up, how's prep this been? How's prep so far? All right, bro, prep has been fucking sound, mate. Like, this is the easiest prep I've ever had. Shout out to Tom Taylor. He has made this prep enjoyable, quick, and everything in between. I struggle massively mentally with the side of prep. Like, the food and the diet I couldn't give a shit about. Like, you tell me to eat dog shit, I will eat it. You tell me to do something ridiculous, I'll do it. If you want to do 8 times 10 hours of cardio, I'd do it. But the mental side of things, of looking at my physique and going, you're shit, your physique isn't good enough, your shape's bad. I still have that now. Like, I just did a shoot with Tom at Alpha not even a few days ago, 5 days out for my show. And I hated the photos. Like, I looked at them, like, everyone was hyping it up. Tom thought it was sick. Like, again, he's a fantastic coach. But the mental side of thing for me, I need to sort my mentality out. I'm so overly harsh on myself and over hating myself that's the only thing that makes the prep hard. However, the smoothness of prep, mate, smooth as butter. Cardio got pulled out 3 weeks ago, so I'm doing no cardio. Steps have been lowered. It's just the weight cap, and I still haven't been below the prep weight cap yet. But yeah, thank you very much for the message. Have you prepared a new routine, or are you going to stick with one you've tested and tried? Routine, I'm assuming you mean posing. Completely new routine. My amazing cousin Malachi, who I love massively, made it for me. I trusted him because his posing last year at the PCA Naturals was incredible. So Malachi is doing my posing routine, which I'm very proud to say that he is the one that's made the routine. Completely different vibe, completely different song, style, genre, everything. I'm very excited to present it. Just want to say good luck in your shows this year. You have one of my favourite physiques in the UK. See, comments like that, crazy meaningful to me. Like that, shit like that always catches me off guard. So it's really nice to hear that people are so complimenting and so kind. In an industry which people argue and fight and bicker so much, I never really see that side of it because I'm always in a good space with great people who compliment, shout out James McDermott, Wayne Angus, Sam O'Keefe, Mikey Jamroz. Like, if you're in such a positive space of fitness, it is such a nice place to be in. And this is why I never get involved in like any of this bodybuilding drama bullshit. Because if you look for it, you'll find it. But if you look for the good and look for the positive comments, like, it genuinely blows you away how kind and how lovely people are in the industry. Good morning. Who are your classic bodybuilders and bodybuilding inspirations from the 70s until now? Now, wow, that is a good question. The 70s, now this is going to be crazy to say. There's not many physiques I liked from the 70s, particularly. Obviously, like, there's physiques you look at and you go, wow. Like Frank Zane, for example, great physique. 70s, right? Like late 70s? God, I feel like an idiot now. Yeah, Frank Zane, of course. But my physiques and my favourite physiques, theoretically was in the open, but they were classic, is always going to be Sean Ray and Flex Wheeler. Like, them two, Flex Wheeler and Sean Ray, my top 2 of all time, ever. Best physiques ever brought to the stage, in my opinion. And obviously 1997 Ronnie Coleman, because I still think he had a very beautiful flow and a physique I would like to have. Now, if we're talking now, into the present day, my favourite physiques is Niall Darwin, shout out UK. One of my all-time favourite physiques, especially in person. I think if you haven't seen him in person, you have to see him in person and go, oh shit, he's crazy. Mike Summerfield as well, in person, absolutely ridiculous physique. You see him and you just think, how is that possible? How is someone that thick? Especially on his chest, like, insane. And then next up, I'll do one more, last but not least, I would say, I'm going to butcher his name, but Oliver Prozakia. He's a Polish bodybuilder. He's very young. He's like 24, 25. Just the physique on him. And Andreas Mamoli, actually. Them two boys, just incredible physique. Very, very impressive. There's another young person, Anton, the Ukrainian, Rajushin. Oh, fuck, I'm not gonna bother saying it. Him as well. They are definitely cracking into my top 5 physiques of all time. Keep going off this question now. I need to stop doing that. But yeah, I think with classic at the moment, classic is very, very stacked, and it's very hard to find a physique that I go, wow, this is it. Apart from them fellas, because they are, I'd say, the top runners of classic physique for the future. I would say Ramondino, but I think there's a very obvious answer. He's got a beautiful physique, and he is Mr. Olympia, so we'll throw him in the list as well. Now let's have a look what the other questions are. What's your opinion on abdominal training and my regime? Okay, so beforehand, I used to be like Mr. Nope, no abdominal training, bullshit, doesn't make any sense. Rip a vacuum and you'll be fine. But since being with Tom Taylor, I do see quite an importance in ab training and abdominal training. So obviously vacuum training, I think is essential. Vacuum training will never pull out. I don't do it all the time, but if I feel like I'm losing the plot or I can't vacuum as well as I used to, I will implement it again until I get it back. Then I'll forget, then I'll do it again. But vacuum training on this prep has been essential for me. Ab training, definitely now. I would 100% not neglect it. I used to, but after seeing what happens when I train abs and the feeling, not even for the look, like not even for the look of, oh, these abs are sharp as fuck, but for the helping and assistance during the workout. So for example, Tom Taylor puts me on abs prior to push days, and that helps with my bracing when I'm pushing and pressing for movements. So I'd say massively the fact of ab training helps during them sessions, and it also during my leg days. It just helps bracing, core strength, and it just puts the physique together. So I would 100% implement ab training from now on, and I do see the importance of it. However, I did need to be woken up to it to see its value. So prior I was just like, no, I don't care about it, but now I definitely see the value in it. That is all the questions for now. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, I got a little bit deep, but I just want you guys to see more of me as a human and me as someone who's very actually emotional. I'm not some like hard-headed fucking bodybuilder who eats, sleeps, and drinks shit. I don't know how to, I'm wording it terribly. I'm 3 days out, so I apologise for the terrible wording, terrible communication skills with the camera here. But I'm a very, very emotional person, and bodybuilding plays a huge role in my heart and fills a huge gap that I had for years. So it means bodybuilding means everything to me, hence why I was willing to do everything for it. But yeah, this prep has taught me a lot. It's taught me a fucking ton regarding how to be a better human being, how to be kinder, how to treat family members, and just the importance of family. So I hope these questions you found some value in these questions, or you learned something, or you learned something about me. But yeah, very, very emotional-ish video. I'm going to show you some stuff real quick as well, because I almost forgot. So I picked up this new desk chair. Of course you're going to follow me, aren't you, you fucking prick. Yeah, I've got this new desk chair, so I'm buzzing about this on Amazon. If we go around, please follow me, camera. For check-ins, oh, of course you didn't follow me here. For check-ins, I've got this, I've got this new light, which Dennis Bell actually linked to me. So I've got this sick new check-in light. So obviously, come winter, oh, of course I haven't got the power on. Come winter, when things start getting dark, and you know, when I wake up at like 6 in the morning, the light's not going to be working. You can just see it now. Absolute insane lights. I've got a new check-in spot here. Got a new tripod. Got loads of new stuff for Romania. Obviously, got my compression socks as I'm ready for the show in 3 days in Lincoln. Now, I might as well speak about that while I can. How am I feeling towards the Lincoln show? This week has been very, very lackluster in terms of my feelings towards the show. It's just because I'm in a weird phase where I can't feed up because I'm still above the cap. So I'm kind of just waiting. Every day is like a loading day, as in waiting for it to load. Not as in I'm loading carbohydrates or something. It is literally me just waiting day on day. So it's been a bit boring the last few days. But I think tomorrow, as soon as it comes Thursday being the day before registration, where I get to shave, exfoliate, do all my pre-tanning and pack my bags, that's when the excitement will start. I'll be like, okay, let's fucking have it. Let's go. And I'm ready. But for now, it's more of a, what do I do now? Just finding something to do and just picking up extra chores, like do the washing, doing this, that, the other. But I am excited. I don't know what to expect, which I think is why I'm not exactly excited because I'm going in with a bit of anxiousness. Like, obviously my goal is to win my class, and my top goal is to win the overall in the classic physique category, obviously, because I think you have to meet Samson if you get first. So if you win the overall, so I'm hoping to meet bro. So yeah, that's my expectations regarding the show. But again, that might not happen. So I really don't know until I get there, until it's done. But I will be recording it. I think I'm allowed to record through the phone, if not this, because they don't like DSLR cameras or some shit like that. You know how two bros are. But yeah, thank you guys for watching very much. It really does mean a lot, all the watching. So like I said, Alpha Neil, code Josh15. If you're interested in coaching, it's linked in the bio. Let's fucking get it, guys. Much love, and I'll see you later.